Hello, it's me. A little bit ago, I mentioned a Q&A and I gave you an opportunity to ask me questions, any question you like, and you guys have answered that. And now it's been like 2, 3 weeks, and now it is definitely time to look through them. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, the first question, the top question, is from someone named Yure, and Yure asks, "Will you use your modding skills in the future?" Yes, I will use my modding skills in the future. I don't know why that's the top comment, but there you go. Hopefully, there's a lot more comments like that. Now, Luke the Luck asks, when did you start playing HOI4? Good question. This is actually funny because I was just going through my Xbox messages like a couple hours ago. My cousin was over, and so we were looking for our old Xbox messages, and there's me talking about HOI4 like 6 years ago, saying, "Hey, I bought HOI4." Like I told him over Xbox message, so that's saved. So yeah, like 5, 6 years ago is when I got it. So that would be like 2019, 2020. So late considering it came out quite a bit before that. But yeah, I got it then, and me and him mostly played like in South America. We just kind of did whatever we wanted. It was like a sandbox back then, and we just goofed off. Never really got good. I didn't start actually modding the game until I want to say 2 years ago, when I watched, some of you may know, Iron Workshop's videos, and I was like, oh, this might actually be not too bad. So I tried to make a Cold War mod, and it was very hard. But that's when I first dipped my toes into it. It was like 2 years ago. Now, next up is McLucas. McLucas asks, why do you look like Linguini? I don't look like Linguini, so that's the end of that question. Mr. Batbro says, have you ever dyed your hair? Yeah, I have dyed my hair. I really didn't want to for a long time, but about a couple, like 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was forced into it, and my hair was just dyed black. My hair was dyed black, and it looked not very different. I mean, my hair is like a dark brown. It has bits of blonde in it. It's not quite dirty blonde, I would say, but I used to be blonde when I was younger. So it was black. It didn't look too much different, but I didn't like how it shone and it like shined in the sun, and it looked almost like red or purple. I didn't like that. And I did get it dyed more recently by my girlfriend, and she wanted to put blonde streaks through it, like way more visible ones, but she overdid it on the toner, so they kind of just disappeared. But she actually wants to do that again to me soon and try again, so she's gonna bring me to a salon, and she's gonna try to do that for me. And if it looks good, I'll show you a video, and if it doesn't, then you won't see me for a while. So yeah, that's that. Next up, we have my good friend, the Argonaut, who asks, what or who is your biggest inspiration for creativity? Now, a big part of this channel is being creative and doing kind of whatever I want, just whatever I feel like. But I bet you're probably asking about certain things. Of course, me and you together, we do Minecraft stuff. He's the guy who I am doing my Minecraft world with, Gem City. So inspiration for that, I would say, is, it's my trips around the United States, and also like stories from that my parents have given me, and also Ancestry has given me. I've looked back a lot over like very recently about like my family and what they've done, and so I've found out a lot more about other places. So that's what I put into that. If it's about HOI4 and just in general, I would say travel. I recently have been going to more museums, so that's definitely helps. And another big part is also YouTube. I like scrolling through YouTube, and I find I get my own ideas for videos when I'm looking through, even if they're not related at all. Like I'm just in that mindset, so that really helps a lot. Now, next up is someone named Kitty, and Kitty asks, what inspired you to make your channel? And that's actually a much better question. I don't know. I've been on YouTube for 7 years since 2018. So back then when I first started, it was definitely just wanting to show off my animals, my goats, and it was for family. It was for my family, and then also just to do random stuff and just do whatever. Like I would just post whatever felt like sharing. I liked sharing things. Now, if you're talking about what inspired me to come back, it would definitely be my cousin. I was making a mod for him, specifically my cousin, and I've shown like 1 or 2 videos of that before. I try to keep it private. And it was a really total overhaul mod for HOI4, and it was like completely different. It even had a different Earth map. It was crazy. And it was really hard. And I shared it, and I got like a couple views. I got a little bit more than usual. And I was like, okay, maybe people like HOI4. Maybe I can actually fit into that niche. And so next time I got an idea for a mod, I thought, well, maybe for this mod, I will kind of document this as well. So that's what inspired me. Little King asks, when will the next update release? And he commented this 2 weeks ago. I think this was before I released the Vatican. I'm not really sure. But if it was that, then obviously I already did it. But if it's for the one I'm working on right now, which is Partisans, it's Russian Civil War, it's post-war stuff, I think maybe a month. I know it's longer than the other ones, but this is the most content that doesn't include the you need this stuff, the stuff that we needed, for like the first launch. This is the most I've done, and the partisan system takes up the most time out of all that. It's just actual scripted GUI, and that always takes forever. Luckily I have experience with those, but it's very difficult to code. Other stuff too, adding more states is hard, doing with the post-war stuff is hard, peace deal stuff. It's a lot. So I would say maybe a month or a month and a half at the very worst. Tin Can asks, what HOI4 border mistake is the worst to me? There's a lot of them. There was a lot more than I thought when I first started making the mod. But I'd have to say the most egregious one, at least for me personally, is, I think it's Bialystok. It's either Bialystok or it's the Balkans. It's either that or Albania and Yugoslavia in general. So I'd say either Yugoslavia or Bialystok. Bialystok because in base game it looks like a shovel head. It looks so bad. It looks terrible. And then for Yugoslavia, it's just bad, unhistorical. Could be fixed so easily. There's stuff that even I haven't done, like stuff for modern day mods that fix the Croatia borders. It's so easy. So that's really a shame. I don't know why they did that, but that's definitely the most sinful for me. Now next up is Lance Corporal, and Lance Corporal asks, do you like any flowers? I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means like something, like if it's a joke, but I like flowers. Flowers are cool. No reason to not like flowers, right? If I had to say my favorite flower, it would be, I don't know what that means. But he also asked, what is your favorite Hearts of Iron 4 mod? That's a good question. I would give you 2 answers. If it's for something that does not feel like HOI4, I like TNO. I only like it because of the story. I like it because of the mechanics. It just feels very different. That doesn't mean I like everything about it. I don't like the GUI. I play with a mod that gets rid of the GUI. And I don't like some of the gameplay aspects of it and how sometimes it feels linear. But going through like different paths, like the USA paths or Brazil paths, which I'm doing right now, is really fun. And if I was going for a HOI4 mod that was more like HOI4-like, I think right now I would say Kaiser Reich. I like Kaiser Reich too. It has a lot of paths. And what I like about Kaiser Reich is it's hard. It can be hard at times. But it's kind of tied between that and TFR. I don't really like some parts of TFR, but I do like that it is modern day. That's cool. And I like that there's a lot crammed into it. Like there's 2 whole wars that happen in Europe. There's a lot to do. Now I have a comment from Toast here. He says, how hard do you find modding? And there's another question that asks, what was the hardest thing in your mod for you to do? So I guess I'll answer both of these. Modding is not really hard. It's more time consuming. A lot of it is stuff that you can't really like automate. It's a lot of writing code, but the code itself isn't that hard. A lot of it's just stuff you remember from the wiki. There's a lot of people that will help you on Reddit, and there are people who have asked questions previously that you can look at. So that's really helpful, and there's videos on it too. Not many, but there are some, and there's some channels like Iron Workshop that do a great job at it. So that helps. It's more laborious. Now, it does get really difficult when you're dealing with like complicated stuff like variables, for instance, that's like has to do with math and stuff, and numbers like money systems and stuff. And like scripted GUIs, like new elements of the screen that were not there before that you make. Like an election GUI from TNO, or stuff like that. That's really difficult. Now, for my mod, the hardest thing I've done for RWS, that's a good question. The hardest thing I've done for RWS is probably the Puppet Master system. RWS isn't really that complicated. I would have to say the Puppet Master system, because I got into a lot of issues with it. I don't know why, but it refused to work for a while. But really, overall, it's not a difficult mod. I've done a lot harder. If we're talking stuff that's not done yet, definitely the partisan system is the hardest thing by a mile. But that's not quite done yet, so I wasn't sure if I was supposed to say that. All right, last one, and I'm putting you on blast. I'm putting you on blast for this. German Empire 92. You're representing the whole empire. And your comment is, where are you from? And also, did you goon to LeBron? Like we all did. I don't know who's we. I don't know who's we. Why would I goon to LeBron? I mean, you could say he's a GOAT, but why would you goon to him? That's kind of gay. I'm not gay. Now, German Empire 92, you as an empire, you cannot be gay as well. But the person behind the account, maybe, if it is one person and not an empire, as you advertise, if you are gay, then maybe you did goon to LeBron. But I think it's not right to say that everyone goons to LeBron. Not all of us are gay. Although, if I were to have a gay encounter with LeBron, would we goon? I don't know. I feel like he'd be a little intimidating, and I just wouldn't want to be near that. But for the actual part of your question, that's normal. Where am I from? I'm from Florida. My mother is from Michigan and Florida. She switched around a lot. And my father's from Florida and Puerto Rico. He spent a good bit of his life in Puerto Rico. He spent a lot longer in Florida. So that's kind of my influence. That's where I'm at. And I am at Florida right now. But I have plans to maybe move to the north, either northeast or northwest. So that is it. I'm not going to answer everything, but I answered a good bit there. I don't want this to be too long. But I love all of you guys so much. Thank you for asking me questions and letting me be able to have an in real life video where I answer them. That's always fun. We'll do something like this again if I get bigger, so we can answer questions for people who are new. But yeah, it was very fun to make, very fun to see what questions you guys had for me. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. You guys have a good day.